That was just a fun way to kind of say, go support my Patreon, damn it. So I wanted to get your last thoughts on Kelly and Mark real quick, though, because we both love the art form of talk show. I wanted to give credibility, though, to somebody else who I think is amazing. Now, a lot of times people get really more modern with their viewpoints. Now it's like, if you're not like a TikTok superstar, you're not necessarily in a lot of people's eyes, like, have this great talent. But I still feel like conveying live television or, a teleprompter or whatever is still such a skill set. So while we jump away from Kelly and Mark for just a second, I wanted to say, could you believe, and he's an idol of mine, even though a lot of people don't think he's that compelling, I think there's an art form to his subdued delivery. Carson Daly is 50 years old. Who would have thought the day that Carson Daly was 50 years old? And what's crazy about it is I think you mentioned, your childhood. It's like, I grew up where Carson Daly was, I was a teenager. He was like TRL. So he spoke so much to a certain audience.
Yeah.
And I just, I'll let you. What is your thoughts with Carson Daly? Does he do anything for you? Is he a little bit more subdued? Is he somebody that you did take an inspiration from as well?
Carson Daly was more of my brother and sister. Like, where there's just the perfect gap between us to where he resonated more with them versus how much he resonated with me. Now, I will say, I always wanted to follow in the footsteps of Spring Break when Carson Daly used to host Spring Break, because that has always been one of my ultimate dreams, is to host Spring Break, which is why you can always find me in the gym, because if I'm hosting Spring Break, I don't want a shirt on. But I think Carson Daly is very talented at what he does. He had to kind of find his place he was almost in the celebrity spotlight for a minute when he was engaged to Tara Reid. And that was kind of this not messy moment, but it was just a moment of, am I a celebrity now, or am I a television personality? And that's kind of the beginning when we saw television personalities and celebrities kind of intermingling with each other and actually becoming a thing and becoming couples. And so I think he had to find his space, and because Carson Daly is worth every penny you're going to pay for him. He's a very talented individual. I think he does great on The Voice, and I think he does great on Good Morning America. Today's show. Sorry. I was looking at a picture of Good Morning America behind, because Shane's friend works for them. But I think he does great at he's great at what he does, inspirational wise to me. I don't know if he fits my individual taste. I think, I think he's very talented, and I think he was just at a gap where I was missing it, and it was kind of just going right over my head. But I do remember watching him on TRL and thinking to myself, wow, this guy's very, very talented. I also remember watching TRL and thinking, I would really like to see more than 30 seconds of the top song of the week. So going back to your point of stating, did he do anything for me? I think he did. I think in indirect way, he did inspire me. And I think he's great at what he does. But I also didn't see him as like a metrosexual individual. And that's kind of what I clung to. And when it came to Ryan was more of my era. So I was watching him in American Idol thinking, wow, he's kind of metro. He has the bleached tips, and he's on this competition show. And it's kind of working for me in the sense of like, I'm relating more to him than I did with Carson Daly. However, I wanted to be on the shows that Carson Daly was on. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, the reason I always talk so highly of Carson Daly is because he is a huge role model of mine. And I also think that a lot of people, and I think they think this of Kelly too, sometimes when you do this so naturally and so good, it seems as if you just kind of like woke up and then just like, plopped on set and got busy with the show. And I think there's such a skill to that delivery. Now, Carson Daly doesn't have a similar delivery as Kelly Ripa by any means. They're very different. But I'm saying sometimes I feel like people think that it has to be such an over the top delivery for it to work. And I think there's certainly a skill set to looking so darn comfortable. Carson Daly also comes from the world of radio. His mother worked in radio in Palm Springs. So it probably is a really cool thing to to have the dreams that he's had and the accomplishments that he's had and it get this big. Okay. So when I look at the whole format of Kelly when she was with Regis and then Regis with Kathy Lee, the whole format to me is so exciting. I think as you get older, I'm 42 years old now, you have to really start thinking of what opportunities you could continue to do and then what opportunities you're going to have to sort of age into. So the format has always seemed like, you know, you're a lot younger than me, but the format for me was always like, okay, I kind of am done with certain things, you know, not that I can't try anything, but I remember saying, especially as I was developing my YouTube channel, I remember saying, oh, my goal with this, amongst many different goals, is I would like to formulate a show that has that Monday through Friday banter about life, a little bit more aged appropriate. And Kelly, at the time, she was doing it with, I guess she was doing it with Ryan Seacrest, but the format just really excited me. So that was a motivating force for me to do my channel, which, you know, you love, everybody I assume loves, youtube.com/randomlyRJ Jr. My question to you is, if you were to team up yourself with a female co-host in the way that Kelly teamed up with Mark, do you have anyone that you really like out there? They don't have to be super famous. Who would you team yourself up with? And would you get an exhilarating thrill about doing a show like that Monday through Friday, talking about your personal life a little bit, interviewing celebrities?
100%.
It would be good, right?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Because I like a little bit of structure. So I like a Monday through Friday anything. Yes. Now speaking of a female co-host, I'm trying to think of anybody that actually comes top of mind to myself. I do like